everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that many persons living with diabetes experience, but we rarely discuss it openly. So it's diabetes stigma in the workplace. This incident happened to me a week ago at work. I was totally shattered to my bones. It made me think of discrimination, bullying, or obvious negative treatments or comments. There was no sense of duty of care towards my informing my immediate line manager of my upcoming diabetes appointment. The focus or her point of argument was more on me leaving my attending to a busy clinic schedule and choosing a less busy clinic day to go for my diabetes appointment. And it made me really feel really sad. Sometimes I wonder why this stigma at workplace is still ongoing with all the information and awareness about diabetes flying around. I just wonder, honestly, I have no answer to that question, but we will continue to emphasize on stigma and discrimination against any form of diabetes you live with, anywhere you work. We're going to keep talking. We're not going to stop until it eventually fades away and everybody accepts us the way we are and walk around us in a way that doesn't make us feel like we're different. I actually spoke to some of my diet buddies, and I realized that this is something that is really getting very common in the workplace. But some of them are more subtle than the others. And it always tends to show up in everyday conversations with comments like, oh, why do you always have sweeties, juice, or glucose tablets nearby? Or some people will calmly comment on, oh, why are you taking sugar? You're supposed to be diabetic. That word diabetic, oh, it really pisses me off. You're supposed to be diabetic. Why are you taking more sugar? And they'll ask, should you really be having that meal? Why are you eating a fruit meal? I get being asked that all the time at work. Should you be eating fruits? You're diabetic. Should you be eating fruits? And I'm like, yes. And I'm not diabetic. I'm a person living with diabetes. And yes, we can eat fruits in the right portion. They just fail to realize that all these comments are moments that all add up when you live with diabetes. As someone who has lived with type 1 diabetes for over 38 years now and worked across different professional environments, I can honestly say that a majority of my work colleagues have been most understanding, caring, and supportive, and even willing to learn more about diabetes. But some people don't even want to learn, but they just keep criticizing and stigmatizing me. But what can we say? That's human nature. Some people are willing and others are not willing. But I also have experienced many moments where some of my colleagues simply did not just understand what diabetes management actually looks like. Some feel that, when you come to work one day, you don't feel as energetic as you did the previous day. They're like, oh, what happened to you? But yesterday you were fine. And they just tend to forget that no day with diabetes is the same. You can wake up feeling incredibly strong, but by midday, your energy levels just goes downstream and you feel tired and very lethargic, and you can't even explain verbally the way you feel. So with diabetes, it's a constant balancing act. Most of all that work happens like silently. People often choose to just see the action, but not the reason behind all the action that comes with managing diabetes. Another common example is like you keep sweets or juice or glucose treatments at your desk. And I've had jokes before like, oh, about having a secret stash of treats. Oh, you can always get treats on NK's desk. She has a secret stash of it's on her desk. The reality is very different. Those items are not there for my pleasure. They are there for my safety. For some of us using insulin treatment for our diabetes, glucose treatments can literally be life-saving. So we need to have our stashes wherever we are, in our cars, in our offices, different parts of your house, kitchen, bedroom. Have your stash, your treaty stash everywhere. Don't say, oh, someone will be asking why. It's really a life-saving instinct for us to keep our stashes where we can easily pick them. We don't have to look for them when we're in trouble, because we might not be able to get them if someone isn't around to help us with. So a bottle of juice here and there might just help you in the most unexpected moments. Now let's look at another layer that many people don't talk about. So the fear of asking for support. Persons living with diabetes may occasionally need some form of flexibility. We need time to check our glucose levels. We need time to take our insulin or oral diabetes tablets. We also need time to attend our medical appointments. We need time to treat a hypo. I know on several occasions whilst I was in clinic, I went hypo. I had to excuse myself, get someone to cover my clinic while I treated a hypo. Sometimes it doesn't always happen, and sometimes something inside me doesn't want to say, oh, sorry, because I'll be feeling that they'll look at me as not being competent enough or not being strong enough to do what I need to do. But this is us, this is me. When you have a hypo, you need to go sort it out. And it's just, sometimes it's just too much to handle. Sometimes it's just too much to handle. Yet we worry that asking for all these accommodations will make them, or rather will make us appear less capable, less reliable, and less committed to our work. But that's not the case. To be honest, I have walked through a clinic with a hypo when I shouldn't. But I just didn't want anyone thinking I was less capable of doing my job, or I was less committed or less reliable. It shouldn't be that way, to be honest. It shouldn't be that way. But this is what workplace stigma can do to you. And we just fear that we might be overlooked, especially for promotions or leadership opportunities, or to be given challenging projects. So this fear alone can create some form of enormous pressure, but we have to just try, keep speaking up and educating people that diabetes management is not a sign of weakness in any way. It is actually a sign of responsibility. Taking blood sugars, taking medication, using your diabetes check technology to see that everything is working as it should to keep your blood sugars in target range, managing your food intake, attending appointments. These are not supposed to be looked at as distractions from work. These are the very things that allow a person living with diabetes to continue performing at their best at work. I often say that diabetes is a full-time job that comes with no holidays, no annual leaves, and no days off. Every decision we make matters. Every day is different for us. This is why workplace education really matters a lot. Not because people need sympathy. I don't need sympathy. I don't like sympathy. But because understanding reduces stigma. A simple awareness session about diabetes, a conversation about diabetes, learning the signs of hypo. These small steps can actually create workplace where people feel safer and more supported. Responsibility should not rest solely on the person living with diabetes. Employers, managers, and organizational leaders all have a role to play in making workplace for us safer and more comfortable. They are responsible for creating an inclusive workplace that will benefit us and every other person, not just because we live with diabetes. At the end of the day, most persons living with diabetes, we're not asking for any kind of special treatment. We are asking for understanding. We are asking for respect. We are asking for the freedom to manage our health without any form of judgment, because when diabetes is understood, stigma loses its power. If you have experienced diabetes stigma in the workplace, I would really, really love to hear your story. What comments have you received in your workplace in relation to stigma at workplace? Support has been made or has made the biggest improvements in your life as a person living with diabetes in your workplace? Please share your experiences in the comment section below. Let's continue to build workplaces where people can actually thrive regardless of whether they live with diabetes or any other health condition. I want to say a huge thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video so that we can continue to raise awareness and we challenge diabetes stigma together. Remember, education saves lives and understanding changes lives. So I'll see you all in my next video. And this is me blowing your way, reality-based diabetes education. Bye.